Rock Surge!
Aegis Wall!
Charmed Touch!
Summon Running Ally! All right, everyone. Today we step into one of the least understood and yet most misunderstood schools of magic, Charmcraft. Now, when most new players hear charm, they think persuasion, illusions, manipulation, and yes, those are a part of it, but that is not where charms begin. Charms begin with emotion. Let me explain. In the world of spells and scepters, emotion is not just psychological, it is magical. Joy, hope, courage, love, trust, these are not abstract ideas. These are arcane forces, and there exists something born from their opposite, a force that feeds on their absence, a force that consumes light by replacing it. That force is a curse. A curse is not random misfortune. A curse is a negative emotional construct seeking to replace positive energy. Its primary goal is simple: replace joy with pain, replace trust with fear, and replace hope with despair. And here is the most important thing that you must understand: that goal is also its weakness. A curse cannot create, it can only replace. It must consume something to exist, which means if you understand how emotions anchors magic, you may understand how to break it. That is where charms come in. Charms are the anti-curse magic. Charms does not overpower darkness, charms unlock it. Think of it this way: a curse is a lock and charms are the key. The key does not shatter the lock, it turns it, releases it. Primarily, cursed items. A cursed item is not just an object with a spell attached, it is an object that has an emotional anchor, a strong emotional connection to a place, a memory, a person, a trauma, and the curse attaches itself to that emotional root. Then it spreads. A cursed blade might amplify anger, a cursed ring might deepen jealousy, a cursed heirloom might anchor grief of a household. The item wants to manifest, to consume, to replace, to become the dominant emotional field in its environment. Sounds terrifying. Fortunately, charms exist. Charm spells work by restoring emotional balance. They reinforce positive alignment and they reintroduce stabilized feeling. They reassert identity. Mechanically, that is important. Charisma, your force of presence, is the primary stat for resisting or unraveling curses. When a curse is not fully manifested, you roll charisma against its level or DC. You are not overpowering it, you are asserting selfhood. If a curse has manifested, meaning it has attached fully and begun affecting the world, the charm magic becomes surgical. You must target the emotional anchor and you must identify what it's feeding on. You must restore what is replaced. That is why charm is not anti-curse. Charm can also manifest emotion intentionally. Calm into chaos, trust in negotiation, courage in fear. Let's say you cornered an angry back alley confrontation. Weapons drawn, tempers high. You could evoke, you could escalate, or you could cast a calming charm. Shift the emotional current. Anger softens, hostility slows, and the moment opens. Imagine a greedy patron refusing fair payment. Instead of intimidation, you reinforce trust. You project sincerity. You bend the emotional tone. That is power. Not destructive power, but directional power. Charm is subtle, but it wins encounters without blood. Now let's talk about weakness. Charm is not mind control, it does not erase agency, it just amplifies or restores emotional currents already present. If someone has no empathy, charm cannot fabricate it. If someone is deeply committed to harm, charm may delay but not convert it. This charm is often underestimated in combat, but in campaign play, charm shapes narratives. Now, for the history of charms, most modern charms, magic traces back to the legendary group known as the 15 Heavenly Harpies. Despite the name, they were not monsters. They were miracle workers. It began with three sisters. Their names are largely lost to history, erased with the scrolls that once recorded them and their deeds remain. But these three sisters developed the earliest known anti-curse incantations. They healed plagues of despair, they broke blood-bound hexes, they cleansed entire towns of emotional blight. 12 followers that joined them, disciples of their following faith. Each follower became known for crafting one specific charming spell. 15 foundational charms, each tied to the restoration of the spells. Containing those spells are all of the charm spells. Lost, scattered, hidden, possibly destroyed. Their whereabouts remain unknown, but their teachings survived. Their descendants carried the practice forward, refined and adapted it, and today nearly 70% of charm magic taught at academies traces back to those heavenly harpies. You may not know their names, but you are casting their legacy. Now, let's bring this back to mechanics and gameplay. Charms pair well with Beacons of Resolve, the Radiant Will, Twilight Adept, or Prepared Genius. Charms also counters hexes directly. If hexes attach conditions, charms untangle them. If curse spreads despair, charms restore that identity. In duel format, charms may not win by disarm, but you can win by destabilizing your opponent emotionally. Confidence falters, fear creeps in, aggression becomes hesitation. Remember, a curse seeks to replace, charms restore. And when there is here a final lesson, charms is not weakness, it is the mastery of emotional current. It is knowing that the battlefield is not only terrain and spell slots, but the unseen space between the minds. When you cast charm, you are not attacking, you are unlocking. And when you face a curse, do not panic. Ask, what was replaced? Restore it. And when the darkness collapses on its own, next time we will remain binding control and restraint. For now, I need you to understand, if vocation wins fights and ward sustains them, then charms reshape them entirely. I'm sure you guys are going to have an amazing time in your next class in illusion and glamour weaving. Until then, I'll see you around.